Hi, Sweetie.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
Sweetie in the house.
I am in the house. Big fish, little fish, cardboard box. I'm back. It's
You're
so
home
nice
for
to
a
be
few
back.
days. It's so nice to have you home. It really is.
I mean, you say that, but I swear that you've really got into the whole fact that you're now just you and Hubs. You're chilling. You're having fun. It's like the kid is out of the house.
I am getting used to living on my own.
Oh, trust me, I can tell. Coming back, it's like, whoa. There's this crazy lady coming into my house.
I'll tell you, one of the nicest things is I have surfaces, darling. So all my kitchen counters are really clean and smear-free, and
What are you
the
saying?
oven and the microwave has no fingerprints on it. It's really nice. I do like that part of it.
Are you saying that? I understand. All my stuff's everywhere all the time. It's always displayed across the tables. It's like I would take this small 40 centimeters by 40 centimeters spot, and the rest would be stuff.
Yes, you are about stuff. But there's something that happens in the kitchen when you use it, and I don't know what it is, because you are pretty good for a teenager. You do clear up after yourself.
I mean,
but
come on now, I need to pat myself on the back for that.
Well, okay, pat. Somehow there's still always crumbs, smears. I don't know what goes on. But anyway, so that's been nice. Yes, I'm enjoying that part of living teenager free.
But I mean, also yesterday I came down, yesterday evening, I had a shower, I was coming down for supper, and I come down, I look to my left as I come down the stairs into the sitting room, I see Hobbs, she's just under her blanket going, I don't know. And I'm like, well, where's Mum? And then I see in a completely pitch black kitchen in front of me, I can just see the silhouette of Mummy with a pair of binoculars staring out the window in the complete darkness. Well, and I come in and turn the light on.
Yes. So I think you youngsters call it POV. So my POV. Do you know what that stands for?
I'm not enough of a youngster. Oh, yes, sorry, point of view. I do know what that stands for.
Get with the lingo, sweet pea.
Get with the lingo.
From my POV, I was busy cooking in the kitchen, all lit up, curtains open, because we're not overlooked, really.
No.
And then I could see in the darkness a shadowy figure walking across the field, in a field that there shouldn't be a shadowy figure walking across. And because I was lit up, it was hard for me to see who they were.
Yeah,
so I quickly turned all the lights off and grabbed my bird-watching binoculars.
Which are really good. They're intense.
Yes. I went into SAS mode. Commander rolled across the kitchen, got my little goggles up, and I couldn't see him. I'm pretty sure it was a him from the way he was walking.
Pretty sure it was a him.
So I don't know who he was or where he went, but nonetheless, I was in stealth mode. And then the next thing, you come singing along. Go on, Mutter, and turn on the light. It's awfully dark in here. And suddenly there I am, all lit up like a light bulb, in full view of this escaped prisoner from the local prison.
From the local prison, yeah, sure. With binoculars.
Turn the lights off. You see, and that sort of thing wouldn't happen if I was living on my own. So it's all about adapting, sweet pea. You come home, I have to adapt. But
you have to adapt.
Never found out who he was. But anyway, I'll let you know. I'll give you some updates on weird shadowy man in the future. I've got Hobbs though, it's okay. But you have enjoyed looking around the garden, haven't you? It's been nice to come back and see all that.
Oh, it's been lovely to come back and do that. So just kind of pottering around, not doing anything like specific, like, I've got to do a proper job. I'm just kind of like, I might do this here and there, and I did some pottering in the greenhouse. That was really nice.
Yes, back in your domain.
Back in my domain, had to pot up some little plants. Then in the veg garden, had to do the purple sprouting broccoli. Put those in the ground, just seeds directly in the ground, because I find they take really well.
It's good timing as well, because we've had rain. So
exactly,
really well.
We've had beautiful rain as well, so that was nice. Mm-hmm. And they were the seeds that I had saved from the last batch, so hopefully they'll be really, really good. And I want you to keep me updated, because obviously
of course I will
come up in this half term. Anyways, that was really nice to do. I love doing that. And it's also nice kind of just doing it and you were mowing
Yeah.
and just kind of all those normal things that you just remember.
Yeah.
It's just nice to do.
Homely things.
Oh, and this was the most amazing thing. And I've never taken it for granted. And I think this is something that people need to not take for granted, is silence.
Oh.
Because in the city, even though I'm not like in the city, I'm slightly on the
Out,
outskirts, there is still just permanent noise of machinery, cars, vehicles, everything.
Yeah.
And then I came back and it was so peaceful. We'd come back, it was kind of late afternoon, evening, and it was quiet.
Yeah.
And all I could hear were bees and birds.
Yeah.
And just a bit of wind going through grasses. And it was so peaceful.
That's nice.
And
that
I'm not
going to
take that for granted anymore.
But you've got to remember that during the week, Lord Farquhar's out with his chainsaw and his strimmer, and there's constant humming of some machinery or other. So
very, very true. But I think that was a lovely moment to have when you've been in the city and you come back and it's just like,
just relax,
chill. Exactly. And I've loved having Hobbsy as well. She's
of
just
course, she's
chilling
loved
next
having
to me,
you.
isn't she?
She's your shadow, isn't she? It's very sweet. And also
Very
in the
cute.
veg garden, you decide. Well, first of all, you harvested the rogue butternut that had snuck out of the veg garden and was in amongst nettles.
Looks like the best butternut we have, actually.
It is the most beautiful
Perfect
butternut,
creamy.
and that is from our neighbour's seeds, isn't it?
Yeah, I know. We've kept those seeds for a long time, and I was worried that they were really old because some were slightly breaking up because they were so old.
Yeah.
They'd given us these seeds ages ago, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to try and put them in.
Yeah.
Boom. They were very happy. So
They're
don't throw
very
in the
nice.
seeds.
The shape of it, though, it's not how you would describe your usual butternut, which is all curves, got a waist, it's got some hips and boobs. This one you described as a butt. It's just basically a butt, isn't it?
It is a butt. You place it on the counter, it's just a butt.
Yes. I'll show a photo of that on our
You'll
Instagram
understand
because
it.
our very butt-like butternut. But
So
I'm going to make up a load of soups and freeze those for when you're next home.
Yeah, I think that would be really, really nice. But I also did another harvest. Also got some sage, some basil, some beans.
Yes, you brought me a
some
nice little load in for
chard.
Sunday lunch.
I did. And then the pièce de la résistance. I brought in courgettes.
I know. Now,
oh my gosh, I'm so happy about
to
this.
most people, this isn't that big a deal, but to us, this is massive. So we have struggled with courgettes for 2 years now. Last year, practically none. This year, we were hopeful because at the beginning of the season, we got some and they looked pretty good and they tasted great.
They did, yeah.
And we thought it's okay. We're through our courgette famine.
Yeah,
and we're out the other side.
We are. That's a good one for it.
We've vanquished all the courgette demons and they're back. But then all through the summer, we had hardly any, I think, no courgettes.
No. I'd spaced them apart. I'd put beautiful new compost on, done everything that people told me to do.
Anyway, I went out to cut out the courgette plants, get the beds ready, because I thought they're done. And this was before you came home, and then I spotted some little baby courgettes growing, so I've left them for you. That's why I asked you to go out and bring in some veg, because I wanted you to discover those courgettes growing. And we had them on Sunday, uncooked, just beautiful, so delicious.
Thinly sliced in the potato salad. That was so good.
The rest of the garden, so I have done some pottering jobs as well. I've finally tied back the roses over the pergola on our terrace,
lovely.
which is feeling really nice and enclosed now. It's a little alcove. You can hide away on that terrace under the pergola.
I really hope that next year the roses will be properly, some will be facing down so that you can kind of have the petals which drop onto you. That would be nice.
I look forward to that. I think next year we'll have that.
I think so.
And then I've been deadheading all our dahlias, which are just doing so well, and all our cosmos, or all your cosmos, Sweet Pea, I've been methodically deadheading so that you have flowers when you came home.
Oh, that's so nice. I mean, I saw them and got a little alleyway of cosmos, and they were looking really, really very good for this time of the year.
Well, they're doing amazingly.
So I was quite amazed.
Incredible ones are those 2 orange ones that you planted, which look foliage-wise looks completely different to other cosmos. The other cosmos they always look delicate and they flop over,
feathery, almost fennel-like.
Yeah, whereas these are triffid-like. They're upright, they're massive. The green is different. It's a more limey green.
Yeah.
thick stem, and I think they're called sulfur
Yeah,
cosmos. Is that right?
I think so. They're just all the beautiful
Orange
yellowy,
ones.
goldeny orange
Yeah,
colours, which obviously I fell in love
of
with.
course.
And interestingly, I planted them out before the other cosmos, the
Oh, did
normal one.
you?
But the other ones flowered before, and these ones are taking forever to flower.
Well, they finally got buds, haven't they? And a lot of buds.
Yeah, a lot of buds.
And you might not get to see them in the flesh, so I'm going to have to take photos of them, Sweet Pea, and send them
Oh,
to you.
that's
That's a
depressing.
sad thought, isn't it?
That's a really sad thought. Oh
But
no.
another plant that's been doing well that you planted is the amaranthus. That's looking gorgeous. And I
saw
learnt this
those.
week. Do you know what its common name is?
No, I don't think so. No.
Love Lies Bleeding. Isn't that
Oh my
beautiful?
gosh, that's so poetic.
It reminds me, Nate Moss has Kiss Over the Garden Gate for the Persicaria orientalis.
Yes.
I love those names.
Beautiful. They're
Love
gorgeous.
Lies Bleeding is rather romantic, isn't it?
I love bleeding
sad
hearts as well. Dianthus, they're gorgeous.
Yeah.
But that's a beautiful, beautiful name.
And then one other thing to mention is our pond. So
Yes,
we have water lilies coming up.
We have
flowering.
and
They
that I
have-
actually can see.
Yeah,
for
they have
once.
little mites on them. They look almost like ticks, but I've read up
Oh.
and I think they're called water lily aphids. I think that's what they are. I
Mm.
don't know how much damage they'll do. It's fine.
They're fine. I mean, we always seem to get every type of possible pest
We do.
in our garden, but it never causes fatalities. Like even with the brassicas,
No.
they got absolutely destroyed at one point by
Yeah.
the little pests.
Oh, those little beetles.
The beetles. Yes,
Yeah.
little beetles. Anyways,
What did you spray it with?
like some. Isn't it? It's kind of like soapy water. You spray
okay.
it with that. Anyway, so I did a bit of spraying as well as on some of the beans because they got slightly attacked on the tops, but I couldn't really be bothered to do a huge amount of spraying.
No.
It's just too much faff for me. Anyway, so I left it and they were fine. We
Yeah.
came out, we had amazing purple sprouting broccoli. So
Well, our water lilies, I'm surprised they're coming up at this time of year, but it's all
I
good. I'm
know.
quite happy with that.
Very
And then
happy.
also, so again in SAS mode, I've been commander rolling across the lawn and abseiling down the hill to try and catch
Yes.
the little thing
I
that
thought
keeps,
you
or quite
would.
big thing that keeps jumping into the pond.
Mm.
Haven't got the trail camera set up, but you've come home. We had a quiet moment sitting on the bench, and I think because
that
we
was
were
so
so
chill.
quiet and chilling out, suddenly you said, "Give me your camera, I can see it." And there was
It was
this
staring at me.
reasonable sized frog peering up through the pond plants.
Kind of funny things. We've got these little funny things in the pond, and it was just peering through. And I'd seen this thing kind of bubble form
Yeah.
in the water, and I thought, oh, it's just a bubble. And then it just stayed there for far too long. And I realised that it had been, these two eyes had been staring at me this whole time. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting a photo of you.
You got a pretty good photo. Again, we'll put that on
Fairly
Instagram.
good. I was at quite a distance, so I had to kind of do some zooming in, which obviously made it slightly blurry.
Yeah.
But then it immediately darted under the water, so I had to catch it quickly.
Well, I was really happy to see that, so well done. Right, well, so that's in our garden. Do we have any housekeeping for last week? I didn't have any.
Don't think so. I think we were fairly on the ball.
Great. So some No Way news.
No Way news. We haven't found a jingle yet. We're working harder to jingle.
That's in your wheelhouse, Sweet Pea.
It is.
I'm relying on you to come up with something there.
No Way news coming to you.
Definitely not that.
Not that. No, that was bad.
Do you remember Violet Croll, who was on Gardener's World back in 2023?
Absolutely, yes.
Dahlia Queen. And she joined us for an episode of Chit Chats on episode 18.
Yeah.
Well, she's been involved with something quite interesting. It's a project that's been going on between her and a team in France. And there's now an exhibition currently on, as we speak, in Paris.
Ooh.
It opened up, I think, last weekend, 14th of October, whenever that was. And it goes on till July 2026.
Oh, crikey, that's a long time, yeah.
And her involvement came about because the team saw her on Gardener's World and got in contact with her.
Oh, that's brilliant.
They came over to her garden last September,
Mm.
and had a mooch round. And then they brought a team back of audio sound type people. There was a journalist, there was a photographer.
Oh, crikey.
And they took away all this material from Violet's garden, and it's now showing at you're the one who's good at French. It's the Cité des
Yes.
Sciences et de
Cité des
l'Industrie. It's in
Ooh,
Paris.
yes.
And it's an exhibition called Jardinet.
Oh, yeah.
Gardener? Gardening?
Jardinet gardening.
Gardening.
Mm-hmm.
And they describe it as an original temporary exhibition that invites visitors to rethink the act of gardening in the contemporary era. So they go on to describe it as the journey unfolds in 6 interactive chapters, each
Oh.
designed to stimulate the senses, sight, smell, touch, while deciphering the biodiversity of the soil, the interrelationships between species, the effects of climate on gardens, and the virtues of gardening on our well-being. So it says there are these 6 interactive chapters, and there's 6 gardens used, so one of those will be violets. So
Oh,
if you're in
brilliant.
the Paris area,
Yeah, for some unknown reason at this time of the year.
or you can be in the UK, jump on the Eurostar, is it, at Waterloo? You're in Paris
Waterloo,
within
Paris.
a couple of hours, and then you can
True.
have a look, get there and back in a day.
Exactly, do a bit of sightseeing. It's
Yep.
very nice, it's Paris. That sounds really fun. I wonder what all the kind of sensory, how they've exhibited that.
Yes. Well, I tried to find out online. There's not a huge amount of information online. I will put a link to their website, though,
Nice.
where you can get the tickets. But there are some things where I don't know, sticking a hand into a hole and feeling around.
Sounds like a doctor's appointment, but okay.
Yeah. Sniffing things, pretty cool. Or as they say in France, super cool.
Super cool.
Super cool. Right. I also have some news from another one of our chit chat guests, and this is Dan from Dan's Plants.
Yes.
He wasn't on that long ago, episode 35.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited about this new sweet pea. I couldn't wait to tell you. You know how when we were chatting with him, we talked quite a bit about selling plants remotely, so selling them online rather than having to turn up in person to buy them.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he was trying to figure it out. He was trying to work out packaging and how it could work best, and also finding the time to get his website set up.
Yeah,
well,
it's quite difficult.
It is. It's very time consuming, but he's
Very.
taken that leap and
No way.
he is now selling his plants online. Isn't that just fantastic news?
That is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I'm so
brilliant.
chuffed for him. Congrats to Dan. It's really, really great to hear. But some other nowhere news for you, Sweet Pea. I found a couple of articles I thought might be of interest to you.
Oh.
First of all, did you know that some plants make gold? Can you imagine that?
No. I mean, I've heard the saying, the whole thing of money doesn't grow on trees, but I mean, this is sounding like it slightly does.
Gold does.
Gold does.
Well, researchers have discovered that Norway spruce trees can host tiny gold nanoparticles in their little needles.
Wow.
And it came from a study where they were looking at Norway spruces that were near a gold mine in northern Finland.
Oh, yeah.
And so they tested the needles on 23 of the trees, and 4 of them had detectable gold particles. So the gold is thought to be brought up through the tree's roots in soluble form.
Okay,
and
yeah,
then,
with water, yeah.
Yeah, and then converted into solid nanoparticles inside the tree by bacteria that's living in the plant tissues.
Oh, okay, kind of symbiosis thing.
Kind of. And these bacteria help lock up the gold. And really, it's thought it's to reduce its toxicity to the tree. And then the bacteria itself lives in biofilms, which are kind of like sticky communities of microbes.
Okay, yeah.
Within the needles. You've probably done this kind of thing in your biology.
I kind of heard of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like when they create a spitball, some bugs create
yes,
a spitball.
Yes, exactly.
I kind of imagine it like that. It's
kind
of a protective case.
Yeah, absolutely. And so in the trees that have the gold, they found that there was less diversity of bacterial species in those needles, which suggested that only certain bacteria may be good at concentrating the gold. So the amount of gold in the needles are extremely small, so far too low to make it worth harvesting the trees as such for the gold. But the presence of gold in the needles could be this kind of useful indicator. So if you're trying to find hidden gold deposits underground, for example, you test the trees rather than going and searching for gold initially.
Oh, yes, of course, because most likely the one that's nearest is going to be taking up the most.
Some of those nanoparticles in the needles.
I mean, that would be brilliant. I was thinking, oh no, are they going to now be dropping down even more trees because they're like, oh, now there's gold in these, so let's go for those guys again.
And another article I thought you might be interested in is, have you heard of zonerism?
No, not even slightly.
So this is a new word coined after a 14-year-old called Nathan Zonner was able to get 43 out of 50 of his classmates to vote to ban dihydrogen monoxide. Scary sounding chemical.
Yeah, very,
He
very weird.
Yeah, he did it for his science fair project, and he basically what he did was he presented real scientific facts about the dihydrogen monoxide, DHMO, and explained that it was a chemical which can be found in tumours and it kills thousands each year. So a really scary sounding chemical.
Yeah.
And the aim of his project was to prove that the use of true facts can lead the ignorant public to false conclusions, which I think is a very relevant thing that we've got in this day and age. With
Ooh.
all this access online to some
Yeah.
facts and not others. So anyway, well, listen to what happened to this. So the dihydrogen monoxide, which is also known as dihydrogen oxide,
Yeah.
hydric acid,
Yeah.
it's a lethal chemical that's fatal if inhaled. And given that, it's also found in all our water pipes. So terrifying stuff.
That is very weird.
Another chemical name for it is H2O.
What?
2 hydrogen molecules, 1 oxygen molecule.
Oh my
Dihydrogen monoxide.
Oh my gosh.
So I just think this is such a relevant
thought that
story.
was really bad.
Yeah, but it is so relevant because we do get trickle fed some facts and not others, and it just shows it does just it's how you pitch it. You can, people are really good at debating, for example, can swear blind that blue is red and red is blue.
Yeah.
And if they can give a convincing enough argument, pick out some of the facts, in inverted commas,
not all,
to make their argument. If you're ignorant on the subject, then you can easily go, wow, that sounds scary. I've been scared into submission.
Yeah.
Where do I sign up?
That's very, very interesting. Also, for me, it's quite interesting because at the moment, I'm learning huge amounts of stuff about medical stuff, chemicals. I've got all my different medication lessons, all those kind of things. And I'm having to learn it almost parrot fashion. It goes in, that is right, that is right, that is right. So
Can't question
I'm very
it at the moment.
rarely questioning what I am learning, and
there's
I
no
think
time to.
Unfortunately, I haven't got time to.
No.
But I think that's very, very interesting because there are so many times where you're just like, oh yes, I agree.
Well, there've been plenty of examples in history. I mean, I'm going to go off down a rabbit hole now, but where medication has been put out for public use and it's caused catastrophic.
I mean, we're constantly learning about the thalidomide. It seems to be the most used example at the moment in med school. Is the whole thalidomide because of how it was tested on animals, but they didn't realize that it wasn't quite transposable to humans.
Right.
And then how actually humans have 2 receptors to this medication. One receptor does the correct thing in getting rid of the nausea and any of the problems that you were having in pregnancy. And then the other receptor creates the problems. And so they didn't realize that there were 2 receptors in the human body.
Animals tested on it only had 1 receptor.
I don't know exactly. I can't quite remember.
Gosh.
But I just remember that humans had 2 receptors. One was S, one was R, and one was wrong.
It was this absolute wonder drug. It really was. It was going to solve all problems when it came to morning sickness and catastrophic. But anyway, so, I mean, that's a whole topic in itself.
It's a whole topic.
And as you know, I could talk loads on that.
We should do a second podcast on meds.
No, we shouldn't. Oh my gosh. We'd have Pfizer after us and GlaxoSmithKline.
Oh, no, we wouldn't want to do that.
Don't want to mess with that. Anyway, so this project that Nathan Zonner put together, it was so successful, it became so famous that this new term has been coined, Zonnerism, which basically means using facts to deceive people into false conclusions. So be aware, Sweet Pea. If you see any Zonnerisms, you call them out.
You call them out, lady.
Call them out, lady.
I like the word as well, Zonnerism.
So, Sweet Pea, any plant fun facts for this week?
Plant fun facts. Well, I'm carrying on my little second part of my old wives' tale. So this time, I mean, they've really made me laugh.
They're mad.
Reading them earlier.
Completely mad.
First one: the size of a rosemary bush reflects the power of the woman of the house.
Oh, now we have 3 pretty decently
Yeah.
sized rosemary bushes. One did
Exactly.
succumb a bit to some kind of a mold or whatever it is
Yeah,
that
which grew up one
Monty
side of
mentioned,
it.
and you just cut off that side of it. But
Yeah.
the rest of it's looking great. And they're all pretty statuesque and looking
They
like
are.
powerful
Power women.
rosemary bushes.
So we're nailing it, Mutter. We are Sussex.
Well, that's good news. What
Yeah,
else have you got?
That's very good. The next one is put marjoram under your pillow and dream of your future love.
Ah,
So I need to get some marjoram.
so
'Cause we don't
that's
have
where
that.
we've been going wrong. We don't have marjoram.
We don't have marjoram. That is a huge problem.
Right. Okay. I'll
Anyways,
just put that on the shopping list.
Put that on the shopping list. For my future love, in
Yeah.
brackets.
Oh.
The next one I thought would really works for you. I'm a little bit me, but mainly you. Basil grows best when there is swearing.
When this. What are you trying to say, Sweet Pea? Do you know, I did read, scientists say, see, this is his honorism. Scientists say that the more you swear, the higher the IQ. So, pretty darn smart. I don't swear. I would never. This is strictly PG.
Sage.
Just on the swearing, we have, in the form of Hobbs, the swear police. So anytime I swear or mildly blaspheme, she will immediately get up from whatever she's doing and come over and sidle up to me and stare at me directly in the eyes. And I think she doesn't recognise that I just speak passionately on subjects. She just thinks I'm stressed, and so she will every time. She's my emotional support animal. But any time, so we call her the swear police, don't we?
She's the swear police, and like sometimes you'll call me, and you'll just be like, I can't release this stress and this angst from inside me because it's all bubbling up, and I haven't been able to just let it all out.
There's a lot of pent up frustration in me, and that's not healthy. What other old wives' tales have you got?
I've got some more. Sage only grows when planted by a stranger, so I'd love to know who planted our sage.
Who planted that? Because they went off on one. That sage
they have
is
to be
ridiculous.
A real stranger.
It's an infestation of sage.
It's huge. It's enormous.
It really is.
Thyme grows where the atmosphere is most pure.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Oh, well, we've got some thyme growing by the kitchen door. So things are very pure around there.
Yes. And then to prevent unwanted guests returning, sweep the doorstep and rub it with bay leaves.
Interesting, because we have a massive out-of-control bay tree that hangs over our doorstep.
It is quite amazing. So we don't have to have any weird guests coming
Unwelcome
back again.
guests. Good news. Very interesting, Sweet Pea. Thank you for that. Again, from your RHS book. So it must be true.
What is your animal fun fact?
Get this. You know killer whales or orcas, they're like the top predators of the ocean. They hunt seals, dolphins, fish, even sharks. They've been known to, just for the liver of sharks. They'll
for the liver. It's like,
I
don't like the rest
of the
shark, you, but I like this bit.
But it is true. It's like a delicacy for them. So they'll rip out the liver and leave the poor shark to die. It's, it's one of the few times you'll feel sorry for a shark.
One of the few
seeing them being attacked by an
sharks
orca.
aren't completely bad. We make them out to be bad.
Absolutely.
Worse than they are.
Absolutely, Sweet Pea. Well, scientists have noticed that there's some very interesting behaviour where humpback whales are concerned when it comes to orcas. They've been seen to be showing up and interrupting orca hunts. So they did a whole load of studies around this, and over 100 different hunts, humpbacks stepped in almost 90% of the time. Even when the orcas weren't attacking humpbacks. So orcas will go for a baby humpback if they can. And so the adults are obviously there to protect. But it's like on the Serengeti, you have lions and hyenas that will go for baby elephants, and the elephants will come and protect. But they'll literally charge in to an orca hunt, splash around, and sometimes even hit the orcas with their tails.
My gosh, that will give a big smack across the face.
To protect the animals that the orcas are hunting. And so no one's actually totally sure why they do it. It could be an instinct, like maybe they hear the orcas hunting sounds and think a calf's in danger, so they rush to defend. Or maybe it is something deeper, like empathy. They just can't stand to see another creature being attacked.
How cool would that be, that they'd be showing empathy? I think a huge amount of animals do. I think we're just ignorant and we don't see it. But
Yeah.
they're showing. I'm sure they are.
Oh, for sure.
I love
But
that.
the humpbacks it's apparently really beautiful to watch. People have witnessed this happening. So the humpbacks make loud noises. They really, they do this beautiful rumble. Oh, this is another story that I'll have to tell you about. There's a marine biologist who actually discovered the rumbles that whales make after witnessing it with elephants, where you couldn't hear the elephant rumble. It was when she was standing amongst elephants that she felt the reverberations through the ground and realized that it was, instead of the higher frequencies, it was very low, that we can't hear. It was the very low frequencies that we can't hear. But that's a story for another time.
Cool.
But anyway, so they make their really loud noises. They position themselves between the orcas and the prey and basically bully the orcas until they back off.
Nice.
Isn't that
well
so
done.
cool?
Love humpbacks.
Well, Sweet Pea, we have chatted far too much. We need to have a look at this episode of Gardener's World.
We do. Recap time.
So, shall we get stuck in?
Absolutely.
This is Gardener's World 2025, episode 27, recap.
Off we go.
It's Monty and Ned time, and we have different camera work this time. We talked about the slow-mo last episode. There was so much slow-mo, I was falling asleep. And I don't know if people have been writing in and complaining, because there were only two that I witnessed. One was Joe walking across an allotment, and then, of course, the slow-mo with the jobs for the weekend.
Yeah, I like the jobs for the weekend with the slow-mo. I didn't actually see Joe walking across the allotment.
No.
I must have been looking down at that point.
It was slow, but brief.
Was slow. Okay, great.
But they are doing this other thing where they're sort of doing hazy camera shots, and so it's hazy around the edge, and that reminds me of when I was younger and we had older style cameras. You would get that effect by smearing Vaseline around the outside of your lens to give this kind of romantic vibe to it.
Oh, sweet.
So perhaps they're going
Valentine's Day.
Old school. Yeah. Anyway, we get our hello and welcome to Gardener's World from Monty, and it's blowing a hoolie initially, isn't it?
It is blowing a hoolie, but he's gone over to the mound. He's putting in some forget-me-nots into there, which he's taken from another area where they've all self-sown. Anyway, so he's putting them in there, filling up the bare soil, and he's saying it's a great time to do some division now of lots of different perennial plants. So he's doing the geranium nodosium. He's dividing that, putting half of it back in its hole, another half going out. And he did say that usually you'd want to cut it back.
That's right.
Because otherwise it's all this excess energy needs to come out.
Yeah.
But he said there are still some flowers, so he's going to bend the rules. And I was like, yes, Monty is bending the rules.
He says geraniums, they're pretty tough. So
they are pretty
tough. You can break the rules for that.
Exactly. So I was just happy to see Monty bending the rules.
Yeah, you like that. So then we go to Carol, the wonderful Carol at Glebe Cottage, who's celebrating the joys of autumn.
Exactly.
And she walks past those very pretty mushrooms, doesn't she, along that leafy path.
Yeah.
And she's so poetic,
very
so expressive. But this turn of phrase, she said, "Your nostrils are assailed by this wonderful fragrance."
No.
And did you get the name of the tree that she was referring to?
Oh, the Katsura tree with that beautiful scent.
I mean, I really need to learn my trees, as I'm not sure I'd recognise this.
I'm rubbish with trees as well.
Hit me over the head and call me Dave.
I've honestly just been saying about how Carol is so poetic, and then you go, and I wouldn't know if it hit me over the head and called me Dave.
Anywho, plants are coming into their prime, aren't they? For us, it's the Mexican orange, Mexican mock orange, I think it's
Mexican mock orange. It was gorgeous. I went past it the other day and just smelt that little flower, which is so cute. It's kind of like a
delicate.
Oh, what is it? It's a lemon tree flower.
Yes,
lemon tree flowers are very, very similar.
And which flowers has Carol got coming into there?
Yeah, in the brick garden, because of the paths, she's got some beautiful kind of blues and yellows, but now it's kind of yellows and rusty colours. Lots of grasses, Rudbeckia, Fulgida variety Demii. Hopefully that's how you say it. But it was a beautiful one, and she said it glows, and it does glow, doesn't it? It's very nice.
Lovely.
She also had some blue asters, which go nicely. And then aconite, the one called Carmichaeli.
Oh, the blue aconites. They were gorgeous, weren't they?
Absolutely stunning. I mean, they're obviously monkshood, and monkshood is the super duper poisonous plant.
Oh, right.
I heard that apparently you'd put a bit of it on the tip of an arrow before shooting it.
With this aconite?
Yeah, with aconite.
Crikey, I
'Cause
didn't know
it's
that.
every part of it is poisonous, and
Wow.
it's one of the most poisonous. Anyways, I thought that was quite amazing that they would dip the tip, the arrow, into
Yes,
kind of a
never heard
solution
of
of
that.
aconite, of monkshood. I
Amazing.
mean, it's also known as wolfsbane, and it was the ancient Greeks called it that because they would poison the bait for wolves
Oh,
with this monkshood. That's
right.
how they would go hunting. So
Yeah.
it's quite an amazing plant. It's been around for a
Wow.
long time as well. But this one's
Stunning.
the specific variety. This one is the Carmicales.
Okay.
And I thought it was beautiful, but I just thought, I don't think I could have that in the garden.
You'd be far too worried. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, she mentions how she's had that garden for 46 years now, so it's very well established, but how she sometimes
Mm.
yearns for a do-over, and I thought that was interesting. So
Yeah.
to have a do-over. But I guess on the other hand, because we've never had a garden that mature, but I
No.
guess it's no different to when you've had your house decorated in a certain
Yeah.
way, and then you decide to get with the latest
The
fashion.
the fashion.
Fashion, darling.
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, having little house makeovers,
Yeah,
I'm yet
it's no
to
different.
understand why you'd want to do that, but
I mean, when I was growing up, the big thing was in the 70s, you had all the really wild carpets with wild
oh no,
patterns
not those.
and the avocado coloured bathroom suite. And that was height of fashion. And then obviously, when you've got
How
such
could
an
you do
out there
that?
fashion, it's going to change. That's why you've got classical fashions, which are the fashions that just stay around forever. They'll always
Yeah,
be there.
because they're
It's
just
like with
nice.
clothes, there's some clothes that just are classical and so you don't need to
Mm.
change your wardrobe. But if you're trying to be height of fashion, that's
Height of
changing all
fashion,
the time.
darling.
So your swirly carpets and your avocado bathroom suite is going to need changing at some point. So maybe it's the same with the garden. But anyway, she takes
Crikey.
up some tats and she's got a patch that she can
Mm,
basically do something with. And then we've got
exactly.
that very enjoyable scene that we often have with Carol where she's just got a whole load of incredibly mature plants that she is putting in the ground.
I know,
And
it's so
it's something you
satisfying.
dream of having, isn't it? Rather than having to get the cheapest
Yes.
little plug plants that we have to do, she's
Yeah.
just got these massive pots and they all go in
Oh.
and she's got an instant result.
Instant bed. How much fun. It's also like the best part of gardening is putting in new plants.
Mm.
I think personally it's the most fun. I mean, she was going with this gorgeous kind of pinky purples, even
Yep.
though we kind of think, oh, it's kind of goldens now. She was like, okay, we're going to go pinks and purples. So she had Euphorbia Martini, mine is Merlot,
Mm-hmm.
and that was, stunning. That
Oh,
gorge,
suits you, sir.
suits you so well. Uh,
That's not how it goes.
I don't know.
It doesn't. It just goes, oh, suits you, sir.
Well, I go, suits you so.
Very well.
And then she also had Verbena lollipop. Now, do you remember this plant?
I sure do from Gorgeous Greg. No, Gorgeous Greg.
It's Gorgeous Greg, sorry, double
Gorgeous
G.
Greg. Greg
Gorgeous
Anderton,
Yes, Greg Anderton.
who was in a very recent chit chat.
Exactly, and he talked about this because it wasn't too tall, it
Yeah.
wasn't kind of all in your face, but it still gives that pop that you want from a Verbena bonariensis, for example.
Was one of his dream ornamentals, wasn't it?
It was. Then she had a Cynthia trichum photograph, pretty, a panicum switchgrass, sedum autumn joy, and a bulbous Nerine baudenii, all in
Yes.
there. And at the end, as they panned out from the bed, there was this beautiful from me. As I looked at it and went, "Switch you, sir." Very nice.
Very well.
I just thought it was really stunning, and it reminded me of when she did that beautiful border in the huge
The trough.
Exactly,
Yeah,
the huge
not a
trough
border, it was a trough, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it felt like a border. It was
Yeah.
so thick and dense. It was like,
We saw it briefly on this
We did.
episode.
Anyways, I think Carol absolutely nailed it. Loved it.
She did, as she always does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just one little piece of news from Carol's Corner is that you remember her little Lakeland Terrier who used to wander around, Fifi?
Oh, yes.
Sadly, she's passed away
No.
at the end of August. Yeah, she was 60 or nearly 16 years old.
She's very old.
Carol tells an interesting story how Fifi was the sole survivor of a litter and
Wow.
wasn't breathing herself, and so Carol gave her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation.
Oh my
So some
gosh, that
sad
is
news. Sorry to hear
bonding.
that, Carol.
Oh, breaks my heart. That gorgeous Fifi.
Ned and Mons are off to the doghouse to plant bulbs.
Yeah,
We
he
see
has
this every
some.
year.
Yeah, he likes his bulbs. He especially likes
Yeah.
his kind of early flowering irises, the miniature
Yeah,
ones. And he's got Pixie, so shallow pot, crock in the bottom, lots of grit.
of course.
Bob's your father's uncle.
Bob's your uncle. Robert's your father's brother. Bob's your uncle. Then we go to
Despair.
Somerset, a garden focused on adapting to climate change, and this is Sally Morgan.
Yes, all about resilient gardening, and so she had lots of different areas, so she could properly show what's going on in each area to do with
Yep.
resilient gardening. I thought that was very nice. So you could kind of take a bit and go, oh, my garden's like the Bob
Yeah,
garden,
cherry
or
pick.
like the aggregate
The
bed,
aggregate bed, which was
which
just
was
concrete and rubble and just a little bit of subsoil, she said.
yeah, doesn't water any of the
No.
plants whatsoever. There was things like verbena in there. There was lady's mantle. They were all doing very, very well.
So this whole watering thing interests me because presumably she waters everything in the first instance. Because I
Surely, because
think you
otherwise
just
that's
have to.
yeah.
But I don't know many people who do water their gardens these days, or maybe I'm just a bit ignorant to it. Because, for example, we will water everything in, and then that's that. If it's not going to survive, then
No,
we're not growing it again.
no, we aren't.
We're not forcing anything, and bit by bit, we're finding what just will work. And if it handles the frost, great. Again, if it doesn't, then we're not taking them in.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
It's very much survive if you can. If you can't, well, you're
you're
obviously
out.
not the plant for us.
You're out on your
Unfortunately.
ear, on your bike, son.
Exactly, as poetic as usual.
So yeah, I think it's definitely the way forward. Is plant what works in your garden and what's
Yeah.
working with the climate as it is now. Adapt it as it goes along. If things work, get more of those.
Yeah,
If they
exactly.
don't.
Exactly. One thing I was wondering, she showed her she had lots of different paths. There was this one path where the stones seemed to be put on their edge.
Yeah, it's like a sort of Roman cobbled
Yeah.
road
My
almost.
immediate thought was, does she ever trip over?
Trip hazard.
Trip hazard. The other day I went for a walk with Hobbs and I tripped twice
It's
on
because of
just
your big feet.
stones because of my stupidly large feet.
Yeah.
And I tripped twice and I just thought to myself, how would I survive on that path?
I
With
would
all...
say out of the three of us, though, the one who'd have the biggest problems is Hobbs because she trips over
She
everything.
does trip
And
over
it would be
everything.
no good for your grandparents. We absolutely could not have your grandparents with paths like that.
No.
It's genuinely a serious problem. Your
It
grandfather
is
will be in
actually, yeah.
hospital. So, yeah, I did notice those, and I was quite surprised at how unflat they were.
I was
Yeah,
interested, and I get how it will make the water run off because it's like little grills
yeah,
almost. But I was wondering if there's a better way of doing it than creating such a trip hazard.
yeah,
But anyways, I was very interested by that. Then she had an ornamental exotic bed. She had cannas and gingers, which were doing well. Some other things not so well, but then those were out.
yeah,
And then she had a kitchen garden with ornamentals, lots of soil biodiversity.
yeah. Nice grid-like structure to her kitchen garden.
I like it when they have a square and then they do the diagonal.
Yeah,
Isn't that satisfying?
that's like church gardens with Patrick and Kay, isn't it?
Exactly. I love that.
And I liked how in her squash bed she put in the taller plants to provide the shade.
The hotness, the tree
Yeah.
spinach, the sweet corn.
Hopness will forever remind me of Mandy at Incredible
Yes.
Vegetables. That
Yes.
plant is just synonymous with her name as far as I'm concerned. And then, of course, Sally is mulching,
Of
which we know
course.
is a good thing.
And she also says that Phacelia can be a living mulch, which we do know about. That's great in the brassica bed, for example.
Yeah.
And I loved the clover lawn, as well as
Yes.
then collecting all the clippings and
Yeah.
then putting that as mulch.
Clover lawn,
beds.
I'm so up for anything other than grass lawns.
I mean, how
love the
pretty
idea
is
of that.
that?
Creeping thyme. Have it all. Can you imagine a mixture of clover and creeping thyme as your
Oh,
lawn?
absolutely stunning. I would
It'd
love
be
that.
thriving, wouldn't it?
I do. I'm very happy not to have a lawn.
Yeah. Well, we have a dandelion lawn.
We have a dandelion lawn and it's
Yeah.
very cool.
It is.
Yes.
Then she talks about population genetics. She has a population parsnip, she called it, which they're more varied than a traditional one. It starts as one variety, but she's incorporated other varieties over the years, like
Yeah.
parsnip Guernsey, which she said hopefully will bring some more drought tolerance.
Exactly, because it's from the north of La France.
And then she mentioned some interesting statistics. So she said that from data, we apparently know that spring is advancing by 5 days every 10 years, and
Oh, yeah.
trees have advanced by 14 days. So there's definitely that pattern there. And I guess we just keep adapting as the plants are trying to adapt. We keep adapting as well.
Yeah.
And then she talks about the rill, which is her fave part of the garden,
Cuts it
understandably.
into
That was
4
gorgeous.
sections.
And it's carrying water out to the other side of the garden when it overflows.
Yeah.
And the whole idea is to slow the flow of water rather than running straight off the house roof into the stream and potentially flooding
Exactly.
downstream.
Yeah.
And we saw a different way of doing that, which was Nigel Dunnett's garden. Do you remember he had his amazing steep back garden, and then his front garden he had really planted very tightly.
Very,
And
yeah.
he said because it was a very wet, soggy area. And so he put in all these plants that would really soak up water. And essentially, I think he called it his rain garden, but it essentially meant that water flowing from the roofs and butts at the top end. So the water would come down the hill through all these plants and would never reach the other end because it just got sort of sucked up by all the plants on the way. That seems like another way of doing it, really.
I like that
I
way of
loved the
doing it.
rill as well. It's
The
nice.
rills were pretty.
And then her final words are that we're the first generation of gardeners where we have to think for ourselves and we can't look back and use lessons from the past. And that, I have to be honest, Sweet Pea, left me a bit depressed. It feels like we're approaching some sort of apocalypse.
Yeah. I think we should still use things from the past, but we're learning a bit ourselves. I don't think it's completely like go into the depths of despair. We can do something.
No, but this segment did bring me down a bit because we know about climate change. We know the things that need to be done. A lot of things are, we can do our little bit, but a lot of it is to do with big industry that we have no control over. And maybe it's my age. Maybe I just need a bit more of a happy outlook on it all. And that it's going to be okay. And this isn't a problem. This is a challenge.
This is
And
a challenge.
we're going to grab this challenge and make the best of it. But
I think you have to do that with everything. If you have a problem, you can't just go, this is so bad, I can't do anything about it, because otherwise you're never going to do anything about it.
No.
So it's like, okay, we can solve this. Let's all work a little bit, and we'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Sally's plot has 100 acres of certified organic land, most of which she leaves for local farmers for hay and grazing. But she works with 5 acres, and that walled garden is 2/3 of an acre. She studied natural sciences at Cambridge, and she's set up an environmental photo library and also writes articles and non-fiction books. She has quite a few books to her name. She's done, to date, 250 books.
What?
That is all.
That's all.
And mostly it's children's non-fiction on subjects such as natural history, science and geography.
Okay.
But she's also the former editor of Organic Farming magazine, which is published by the Soil Association, and she writes for other magazines such as Living Earth, Bloom and Amateur Gardening. So she's getting her message out there a lot on climate change.
Sounds very interesting.
If you do want to read more about climate change, Sweet Pea, she's written a book with Kim Stoddart called The Climate Change Garden. I'll put links to all of those.
Great stuff.
Monty makes the point of harvesting rainwater, of course, which is a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then he's into the greenhouse. He's still got some tomatoes.
He has got some. He's got some on one side, and the other side they're all done. So on the side where they're all done, he's kind of raked it over, put some compost in, looking all good, nice and crumbly. And he's putting in his oriental greens, which he always does. He loves his oriental greens.
All the mustardy things.
All the mustardy things. Yeah, he loves mustardy things. So Mitsuna, purple Mitsuna, and Komatsuna.
But on the tomatoes, he does say, the green ones, they all have to go on the compost heap. But I think there are quite a few recipes out there that you can do with green tomatoes.
Do not put them on the compost heap.
And also, we've had some luck of putting them on the windowsill and them turning red.
And they're actually really nice.
So they don't have to be banished just
No.
yet, I don't think.
Go. Goodbye, fair tomatoes.
Now, after feeling quite sad and lonely, depressed, we then met Dwayne Black in East Sussex, and suddenly
Yes.
I was lifted back up into a joyous place.
Oh my gosh.
And Dwayne made me so happy again.
He made me so happy, and the sun was shining. His
Yeah.
garden was absolutely beautiful.
He had this beautiful smile. He
Oh
just,
my gosh.
infectious enthusiasm.
He's one of those people who just gives off
Yes.
joy
Yeah.
and happiness, and just
Positivity.
You kind of want to be next to him because you want to feel that lovely vibe.
There are energy takers and there are energy givers, and he's very much an energy giver.
Oh, he's such a giver.
And you could really feel that through the screen.
Exactly.
He's a full-time student, currently studying psychology and counselling, and he's training to become a therapist. And he talks a bit later on about how he likes the idea of combining therapy with horticulture.
Which of course, we know is top-notch stuff.
Talked a lot about that, and it's a great route to go down, I think.
But coming back to Dwayne's garden, I loved how he had all these different areas. He had his raised beds, he had his herb bed, he had pathways of lavender, wisteria, grasses, he had a wild meadow, and of course his beloved greenhouse.
Yep, absolutely fantastic. He had a bit of everything, didn't he? And they'd only moved there 7 years ago, so it's still in its early stages. He said it was just like any new build, it was a mud pile full of builder's rubble.
Exactly.
Which is always a challenge. But he talked a bit about how his grandfather had his allotment, and that was Dwayne's route into gardening. He was from Kingston, Jamaica originally, his grandfather, and then they moved to Smethwick in Birmingham. And he brought like a lot of staples from Jamaica to his allotment in Birmingham, and used to be the local supplier really of all this yummy food.
I thought that was. He talked about callaloo, which apparently is far better than spinach. I would love to try it. Sounds amazing.
More iron than spinach.
Wow. Ooh, that would be good. But I thought that was really, really sweet, and so how he's kind of really got that gardening side. And I loved his little spinach and kale bouquet that he was making for a neighbour. I want to be his neighbour.
I loved this. So I loved how he likened it to when his grandfather would hand over his little bundle in a plastic bag. And then you've got Dwayne doing this beautiful posy of these leaves. And I love how he says it's very camp. But I just feel if that's camp, we all need more camp.
We all need more camp.
Can you imagine if we start giving that to our neighbours with all our chard
and it's really
and
pretty
spinach
as
and
well.
all our leafy things?
Yeah,
a little ribbon round it and give it to lovely Jack, who gives us his butt-shaped butternuts.
I mean, that would be so nice. My favourite thing that Dwayne said was dahlias are the drag queens of the flower bed, and I was just like, that is so true. That is exactly how I would describe a dahlia. And there was this one dahlia which was, I think it was called Fenabe, and he said it was this pink pom-pom diva in a tutu. And I was like, once again, you have perfected describing this dahlia.
It did look like it was in a tutu, didn't it?
It was so, so cool. I just loved the way he described them, and it just brought absolute smile to my face. He had some beautiful dahlias as well. He had the tartan one, which was like a kind of burgundy raspberry ripple.
Yeah.
And Cornell bronze, which was stunning pom-pom, kind of peachy coloured.
And it was interesting how he said he uses several secateurs to reduce the spread of disease. So he's a lot more careful than we are.
How many secateurs do you think he has? Because he had a lot of dahlias.
And it was interesting hearing a bit of his background when he said that he lost contact with his dad's side of the family from about 14, and he said how losing the opportunity to garden wasn't much of a big deal for him at the time because he was more concerned with feelings that he had of being gay, and he was more concerned with being a musical theatre star, but how he was very sort of sensitive and shy, and the arts gave him the opportunity to escape, be someone else, really, been kind of a fantasy. But he then talks about how he met his soulmate Simon 15 years ago. They fell in love and have become inseparable. Yeah, and it's when he said that they've changed each other's lives. I just thought, wow, it just is so beautiful, isn't
Doesn't it
it?
make
It
you just
really
so
is.
happy
Yep,
inside?
really made me happy. And also, what made me happy was the beautiful wedding. Assuming it's wedding photo
Oh
because there
my
was a lot of
gosh, that was
confetti.
stunning.
How dapper does Dwayne look in their wedding photo? He had
So
this check
amazing.
3-piece with a purple bow tie
I
and pocket
know.
handkerchief. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, I mean, he just nailed it. I loved it.
Yeah. And
Gorgeous.
he talks about how the fennel reminds him of Nina Simone and Ella Fitzgerald.
Mm.
Jazz.
He loves his jazz. I loved it. How he had this record player and
Yeah.
headphones. How cool was that?
The frustrating thing is because it's the BBC, they couldn't then play Nina Simone or Ella Fitzgerald.
No,
So we had
which would
some
be
kind of
nice.
generic jazz or music, really.
Music.
Don't know if you could even call it jazz. And it would have been lovely to have him
Oh,
there
that would
with
be nice.
that playing and hearing it.
Mm.
And it's interesting actually because when we first started our chit chats, we sketched the dream gardens of our guests, didn't we? And
We did.
you would, because of this issue of not using other people's music,
Mm.
you then would sing a tune and you would
Yeah.
learn a piece of music and you would
We'll
play it
do
on the
the
guitar or the
acoustic.
piano and sing it. And when you did Patrick Smykel from Smile with Smykel,
Yeah.
when you did his one, can you remember the music you did?
Did I do? And I'm feeling
Yeah,
good.
which is one of Nina Simone's most famous
Oh,
tunes.
brilliant.
You did it with your electric guitar. And interestingly,
Did.
that although that was a couple of years ago, we recently had a comment on, because that sketch is on the Patreon. And
Mm.
one of our lovely Patreon members, Penny, suggested your voice would be well suited to Summertime, which was also sung
Oh.
by both Nina and Ella. Not that I'm quite
Oh.
categorizing you as on a par with those two artists.
No.
Obviously,
Oh my gosh.
people.
Nope.
But it was just interesting that we'd only just had that conversation with
Yeah,
one of our
exactly.
members.
I thought it was just lovely. And of course, finally, I do just want to say quick shout out to Dwayne's gorgeous dog.
Beautiful
with
doggy.
the best hairdo ever.
Well, Sweet Pete, did you notice Dwayne's muscles?
Oh my gosh, I want to ask him, what does he do to have the most beautiful muscles?
Yes.
What routine are you doing, Dwayne?
When they moved into Draycott House, he was a sports rehab student and personal trainer.
Oh, well, there you go.
Now, if you want to see more of those muscles, Sweet Pea, you need to look at his Instagram account because they're in abundance on there.
In abundance.
Yep, on his Instagram page, Black in Motion, if you
Ooh.
want to find it. Black in Motion, all one word. There's one video on there that's not just Dwayne's muscles on his Instagram. There's a lot about the garden, and there's one video where he's in his beautiful greenhouse harvesting some incredible looking melons, and he holds one up to his head to show how big it is, and then he says, "Oh, I found my twin. Hey girl."
Love him so much.
Monty's planting elephant garlic bulbs.
Yes, he loves his elephant garlic.
He buys them fresh every year because they can accumulate viruses, as we know, in the soil. So he tries to move them as well each year.
Yes, exactly.
Pointy end at top,
a
foot apart or so, because they're big ones. And he said you need to plant them now by Christmas, really, and harvest not before mid-June.
Yeah, because they need the cold snap to separate to individual bulbules.
And then we go to Joe in Bristol again. And this time he's at the allotment site in St Werburgh. Now, we've been here before, Sweet Pea. Do you remember early last year, episode 4, there was Matt Manson, who was a tattoo artist. And he had taken over his mum's allotment after she very sadly died of cancer during lockdown.
Yes.
And she left the allotment to him, and he hadn't been into gardening at all. And then this allotment, because it was part of his mum as well, became a really important part of his life. And he made it into his sanctuary. But do you also remember how he used, his wife had a coffee shop, and he used the chaff from the coffee beans?
Yes, it's all coming back to me. Yes. Oh, he was very cool. Yeah.
So these allotments are run by St Werburgh City Farm, and there's a social enterprise called Propagation Place who specialise in growing all those beautiful plug plants.
Exactly, and then they sell them in their little shop.
Yep.
That's brilliant for people who just can't quite get from the seed stage to seedling.
Exactly.
And then onwards.
And Alice Lee is the project manager for that. She said some of the plants stay in Bristol and they can be bought from their farm shop, and the rest of them get sent all over the country.
Yeah,
Pretty
I know.
impressive what they've done.
Pretty awesome.
And then, as well as the plug plants, they also are helping local people into horticulture through a trainee scheme.
Yeah.
Just if we could send world leaders on this, imagine if we had Trump and Putin and Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Some of those angry politicians out there. Get now Nigel Farage growing some plug plants. I seriously think that would solve viral. All world problems. A whole different outlook on life. They all need to just take a chill pill, don't they? Grab a cuppa and head out into their gardens. Anyway, twice a week under horticultural officer Rihanna Michike, trainees come to learn key skills for growing the plug plants. Elsie Smith was there. She's recently done a college course in horticulture, and then she came to St Werburgh to do some other voluntary work. And then she heard about this and signed up immediately. She was loving it. Larry Shears, she also found she gained a lot more knowledge and confidence through the traineeship, setting her up well to get into a job.
Yeah.
And I loved it when Jo says, I'll give you 10 out of 10. And a trainee, I didn't catch her name, says,
she was so witty.
Oh, she was feisty. She was a go-getter. She said,
yeah,
now you've got to write me a reference. I just thought, what a smart cookie. Can you imagine?
She's going to go places.
Well, you want to get in horticulture and you've got a reference from Jo Swift.
Oh, you've nailed it.
That's all you need, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then there was this perfect exchange between Alan Herbert, who used to help his grandfather at the allotment in the 70s.
This is hilarious.
And now he looks after security. And Rihanna says, oh, hey, Alan. He says, oh, yeah, you want to borrow my strimmer. It was just beautiful.
Oh, my God. I loved it. My favourite thing that was said was when she said, it's about 2 beetroots an hour.
Yeah, for the barter.
Oh, and I just love that because that is how lots of things used to be done, was just exchanging.
Well, and should still be done. It's similar to what we do around here, isn't it? We'll give cut flowers and get butt nuts. But that's the beauty of allotments. They are so much more than just growing. There's a massive social side. They're so priceless, allotments. They truly are a wonderful thing, aren't they?
They truly are.
And then Jo talks about the importance of tackling social isolation and how the plug plant team again play a part in helping to combat that. They explain that their group meets once a week, often being referred by GPs, hospitals, therapists. Again, we keep hearing this, and that goes back to what Dwayne's wanting to do with therapy and horticulture.
Exactly.
So we see Athene, Liam and Abigail who've come to get stuck in. Then we have a little bit of slow-mo-ness, and that's Jo walking across the allotment.
Exactly.
And that was that segment. But I have some very, very sad news, Sweet Pea.
What?
Actually, after all this wonderful stuff we've heard about Propagation Place, they've had to put out a statement saying that sadly they have closed.
What?
They say, after 8 years of incredible progress in sustainable, ethical and socially responsible horticulture, our parent charity, St Werburgh City Farm, is no longer able to sustain the additional costs of running the project.
Isn't
that so very, very, very sad?
I'm not happy with that.
Back at Longmeadow, and Monty's in his other potting shed.
He is.
Growing some mushrooms.
I know. Exactly. He's doing some oyster mushrooms.
So he's got some chopped up straw, that's the growing medium, and a bag of spores mixed in with grain and bran. And you need to pasteurize the growing medium by boiling a kettle. You pour hot water on it and leave it for 8 hours, then drain it. And that's pasteurized it.
Yeah.
And also he makes the point about it's important you wash your hands thoroughly so you're not introducing anything else into the soil. I didn't know there was that much involved in it.
No.
And then he mixes it all up in the bag. He's sort of delving around. And then the great line he says is, now I know how a vet feels up to the elbow in cow. Anyway, into a mild place, 20 degrees, check after 3 weeks. If you see a mass of white threads, the mycelium, then you're doing it all right and it's ready to fruit. So then cut across the bag, put it somewhere light and spray it every day, spritz, to keep it moist, and they should fruit. And he's going to keep us posted. I look forward to that.
Oh, I do look forward to that as well.
Then we're to jobs for the weekend.
Yeah.
Clean cloches, check tree supports, and feed your streptocarpus.
Don't help them, but
so
we'll feed something in the garden.
Feed something. Sweet Pea, your favourite plant?
was the Euphorbia Martini. I absolutely love that from Carol's garden that she was putting in that new bed.
Right. Oh, yes, that was beautiful, wasn't it?
The burgundy was just
Yeah.
lovely. Really
Well,
liked that.
Mine's also from Carol's.
Oh, yeah?
Two options. One is that
Oh.
aconite,
Yes.
which I could put on my spears.
You
and
sure can.
arrows.
When you're spying on people.
The other was the bulb, that autumn bulb, the Nerine Baudenii.
Yep.
I really like that
Oh, it's stunning.
for
It is really
an
nice.
autumn bulb.
Mm.
But I think probably I'll go with the aconite.
Aconite, even though it's highly poisonous.
And your top takeaway?
Was just entirely Dwayne's garden. Everything
about
garden.
Dwayne.
And I especially like the spinach and kale bouquet, making those.
Yes,
I thought
that was
so
nice.
Cool.
And I did have that bouquet down as one of my top takeaways, but just in case you had it, because I thought you'd be taken by Dwayne.
Yes.
I liked the clover lawn at Sally's.
Clover lawn, that was very cool.
Really into that.
Mm.
And that was that.
That was that.
Do you want to hear what's happening next week? And it is next week.
It is next week.
24th of October.
Good stuff.
As the autumn light bathes Longmeadow, Monty is harvesting pumpkins in time for Halloween, adding a berberis to his orchard border and planting out strawberries. Frances Tophill shows how her garden in Devon has been developing. We've been asking for that, haven't we?
We have been asking for that.
Now in its third year, she's taking stock and preparing for winter. And Nick Bailey discovers how CT scanners can reveal in astonishing detail the secret life of plant roots, normally hidden beneath the soil.
Oh, wow, that sounds amazing.
Really good. There are a couple of passionate growers who revel in the weird and wonderful world of carnivorous plants, plus a gardener in Kent who has created a magnificent space brimming with colour and abiding by some strict design rules. I'm so looking forward to seeing Francis's garden and Nick Bailey's piece on the use of CT scanners
to
look at
so
roots.
Much fun.
Very, very interesting. So
looking
good
forward to that.
Yeah, looking forward to it very much. If you want to get in touch, here's how.
If you have any questions, feedback or comments, you can get in touch with us on our contact page at notjustagarden.co.uk or via our email, which is notjustagarden@outlook.com, or you can even find us on Facebook or Instagram and come visit us there and hit the follow button. And if you enjoyed this episode, it would mean the world if you could post a 5-star review. It really helps our podcast climb up the pile. If you didn't enjoy it, bigger polls from us, and please don't. For more Sweet Pea and Bear content, including videos, blogs, guest garden lists, early access to episodes, podcast outtakes, which are great, and community chats, come join us on our Patreon. You can find a link on our website.
Right, Sweet Pea. Well, unlike other weeks where I have to bid you good night and feel slightly sad, I'm just going to
I'm going to come
log
upstairs.
off, get a cup of tea and come have a natter.
Oh no, I'll come have a natter. I have got to get on with revision though.
You have. I won't natter too long.
That.
In fact, we'll wait for the natter. So good luck with your revision, Sweet Pea.
Thank you. And we will chat next time.
See you next week. Bye bye, Sweet Pea.
Bye, Mo Bear.